from Smashmouthmetal here at the Foundry in Dudley with the boys of Eyes of a Raven. How are you, lads?
All good.
Yeah, can you just give a quick whip round, no sexual comments, about each, introduce yourself.
Dave, vocals.
Phil, drums. Hobo, lead guitar.
And Craig on bass.
Awesome. Well, it's very nice to actually have a sit down with you, because every time I see you at a gig, I never actually get to chat with any of you, really.
That's probably because we're really drunk.
Probably.
And we can't speak.
Speaking of gigs, you come from a gig last night. How did that go?
Really well. Really well. The promoters and the tour company that put us on were extremely hospitable for an out-of-town band. Made us feel really welcome. We had quite a few people come back in to watch us after the local band had come off, so we consider it an accomplished success. Really thankful for what they've done for us.
All the bands are really friendly as well, which also helps, you know.
Where'd you play?
Where, sorry?
Yeah, where'd you play?
The Arches.
The RJs. I've not been up there. All right then, so let's get to it then. So you formed in 2009 with your current lineup as it stands, missing Ross, mind you, who's not here tonight, in January last year, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So how did you, after all the time of starting up a band, going through lineup changes and stuff, how did you guys come together? And
Strangely enough, and as stupid as it sounds, it's because we all drink in this pub. Yeah? As these lot all say, we're all friends. We're friends with other unsigned bands who drink in this pub. When we had one member leave, with the exception of one guitarist who me and Ross knew from years ago, who used to be in a band with us, the rest of us all drank in here. We're all into the same music. We all like the same things. It's natural course, really, wasn't it?
okay. So you've got a couple of songs out there at the moment, and an old EP from your old lineup.
Yes.
I understand that you're currently working on a new album.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about this album,
By all
Season's
means.
End?
Yes. We decided to split what was originally going to be quite a long album into two. We thought we needed a dividing line between the Eyes of the Raven of old and the Eyes of the Raven that are now. So we called it Season's End because the stuff that's on the new album is pretty much, apart from one song, all the stuff we wrote in previous incarnations. So it's sort of the dividing line between what we used to be and what we are now. We, obviously with me being ill as well, with my back and my neck, which we'll touch on later, we've had to push it back and get it right. So we've decided to, as I said, split that, make two albums, rather than trying to rush one out and it sounding a bit poo. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I mean, the one song that we have got on there from this current lineup as well is the first song we all wrote together as well, so worth noting, I guess.
Very exciting stuff, really. So we talked about the time constraints in the album. You were due to play at the Flapper when you released the album at the Flapper.
Yes, we were going to release the album on the 12th of September this year, but obviously I've had problems with floating bits of bone in my neck and spine, which have caused me to, my vocal tracks have had to be pushed back with hospital appointments and everything else. So it's sort of pushed the time scale way out there. And there's, like I said before, the one thing about this band is, and the reason, apart from the fact life does get in the way sometimes, the other reason is the fact we're not perfectionists as such, but we've all been in the situation where we've put out subpar. I was going to say something else, but I've been told not to swear. So we've put subpar EPs and stuff out in the past. So I'm reluctant to try and do it too quickly. We'd rather take our time and get it right first time, which is the reason why everything's been delayed. You know, there's no point us trying to cram everything into a few days and then release it saying, yay, this is us. We sound really crap.
Okay.
No, I'd rather take our time and make it a decent effort. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully it'll all fall into place. I mean, we're still doing the gig on the 12th of September, and there's some cracking bands on that gig, so whichever camera I'm on, people should turn up to that.
I'm actually in Wales for that weekend. It's my mother's birthday weekend. But anyway. So, Phil,
Yeah,
putting you on the spot a little bit now, you're the newest member to the lineup.
I am, yeah.
So how was it for you coming into a band that has a strong stage presence and some, you know...
It was good, actually. I mean, I was a little bit nervous when I first went in for a rehearsal with them, but I hadn't played in a while, to be totally honest. So when I turned up to rehearse with them, I was like a little bit rusty, but I picked up the tracks and turned up to the next rehearsal. Like, yeah, okay, this is good. Said, so am I in, guys? Yeah, of course you're in. Yeah, we want you.
Let's set the record straight here. Not going to mention the previous drummer too much, but when this guy comes in, we've got a standing drummer, Luke, who was helping us out, and he was doing a good job. But when this guy turns up and sits behind, listens to our songs for the first time properly, sits behind a kit in new rocks, in a kit that's not set up for him, and pretty much nails the three tracks he's heard in the space of an hour, we knew we got the right drummer.
You've been a little bit humble there, really.
There's no double bass pedal.
No double bass pedal.
He was. It's the only drummer on
How do you
now that
manage
plays
that?
in new rocks.
I don't know.
No, that's good. So let's talk a little bit about this album then, okay? Because there's about 7 songs out there on Reverb Nation at the moment. This album is all new material.
New compared to what's on the internet, yes. Well, I'll tell a lie. We released the EP with Blasphemy and Bruised on, just as a taster, which we were going to include on the later album, but obviously deciding to split it between previous incarnations of Eyes of the Raven and the new stuff, we thought we'd leave Bruised and Blasphemy on that one, and there's also another 4 or 5 tracks, I think, in total. There's an acoustic version of Redeemer on there as well, and a live track of one of our older songs. So it's not like we've sort of scrimped on it. We just thought, well, let's draw that line. That's the old us. This is the new us. Let's put that clear dividing line through so people know that's how we used to be. This is how we are now. Pardon me.
It gives us a chance to write a whole album as these 5 members of this band, which is what we really wanted to do, really. With the older stuff, you know, there's either the 2 of them, or the 3 of us, or the 4 of us, and then there's one with the five of us on it. So we wanted to have something where it was just the 5 of us, rather than having to say, oh, this guy wrote this one and this guy wrote this one. This is the 5 of us. This is us now. Forget what you've heard in the past. This is us, and this is what we'll be bringing now.
It's kind of what I was hoping to hear about a little bit, because you hear with bands, you know, you have a guitarist who'll write all the songs, and then you'll have someone who does this. You've all actually came together and put your heads together and actually made this work.
Our writing process, I don't know how other bands do it, because obviously we're not in other bands, but our writing process can be a little bit over-picky at times. We listen to it, we think, well, hang on a minute, that riff sounds a bit like that one out of that song, let's scrap that. I mean, we've got tons of material. I mean, I remember being in one of the older incarnations of the band. We wrote a full song, we only played it once, and then we scrapped it after that. We never played it ever again. You know, we sometimes I think we're too picky, but to be fair, I'd rather be like that and get it right, take that little bit longer.
Yeah, just make sure it's not perfect, but that you're all agreeing on it, and it's all something that you want, isn't it?
We don't want too many songs that are similar either.
No.
We want every song to...
I mean, as people who've come to see us have said, we're not defining the genre by any stretch of the imagination, you know, but we've put a crack in the mould because we do things our way. We're not metal by numbers, and we never claim to be. We do our own thing, and we do it as we want to, when we want to.
You know, listening to you live, I've seen you live, you know, I watched you twice at the Fiction, battle your way through in the Bloodstocks into the finals, you know what I mean? And each song has that significant difference to it. You know, I couldn't tell you your songs by name, but you know, I have a listen, and you
Not
know,
much of a fan then, is it?
in fairness, I hadn't really heard of you until
I'm only joking,
I started
dude.
covering the Bloodstocks Metal to the Masses competitions, you know what I mean? I'm still new to this scene over here. You know, I moved over here last year, do you know what I mean? So getting to meet new bands and hearing new stuff is why Smashmouth was built, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it all.
Yeah.
But, you know, because you've got some beautiful vocals, some beautifully clean vocals, and you've got that grit and growl and that goes on, and you've got your guy, you know, the rest of the band, you all seem to just to gel. And the sound that you put out is great.
I like to see us as like a general purpose metal band where any sort of metal fan can come to the show and find something that they like of us. You'll have your singy-songy elements, you'll have your screamy elements, you have your fast elements, you have your slow elements, you have your clean elements, all that kind of stuff. We like to roll all that into one because we're all into different things. So why not try and smash all that together?
Getting back to what you were saying about the writing process, we don't have one single person that writes everything. We all come together and we put the ideas together. You know, we've currently started. What we've done is on normally it's like we'll write the riffs first and try to look around the riffs and then put the vocals on after. And recently we've decided to try doing the vocal pattern first and see what we can write around that, just to see how that one works.
Let me know how that works. That sounds quite. Because usually the vocals go last, don't they? Yeah. So that could be quite an interesting thing to do. Do you know what I mean? And you've got 5 seasoned musicians all bringing stuff to the table, and you've all got to have a world of different influences. And like I said to you earlier, listening to your music, you can all hear you have your own kind of styles, but it works together. Do you know what I mean? And it's great.
I think it's due to the fact that the 5 of us are sort of in a band that, going back to where it was years ago when I used to be in bands, everybody was trying to be the next big thing. So whoever was popular at the time, people were trying to emulate that. Whereas us 5 are just like, well, let's just play what we want to play. Let's enjoy ourselves. If we're doing this and you're not enjoying it, there's no point doing it. So what we do is we write music we would like to listen to, that we would like to hear when we go out, that we enjoy playing as well. And I think that's why it seems like we've got a bit extra conviction compared to some of the others out there.
You've got quite a bit of a following as well, haven't you?
Yes,
yes. And
we appreciate
the finals at the Fiction was just packed out. People screaming for Eyes of the Raven. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot. I think it was packed out, wasn't it?
Yeah, completely sold out.
Second on, and we got a full house. Couldn't wish for more than that. People are really appreciative of what we do, and we couldn't ask for any more. Those people, we humbly thank them.
Say thank you if you want to say thank you. So, with everything that's been going on, trying to get this new album done, and you wanting to take your time and stuff, that's all well and good, and we look forward to it. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but have you got any kind of idea when you're going to be looking at releasing it now?
Hopefully by the end of the year.
It'll be
by the end of the year. That is the plan for this one, yeah.
Because then you've got your second part.
Yeah, what we've done is we've split it into 2, and we've got all the stuff, like we say, from the old incarnations, and then we've got all our new stuff, which we plan on putting a separate album for release the middle of next year. So we're pretty much like the metal equivalent of Travel West Midlands, aren't we? You wait years for one album to come along, and then 2 come out in the space of 6 months.
Well, it's kind of like bombarding people with loads of stuff all at once. It's going to be just like, Eyes of the Raven. And
well, I think people, we've sort of had our peaks and our troughs, where we've had peaks where we've had gigs where loads of people have come out to see us, then we've had our troughs where it's like, well, we've not done anything for a while, so people obviously don't know whether we're still out there and we're doing anything. So we're hoping, like, being such a small gap between it, everybody will realise that we are still putting as much effort into it. It's just unfortunate with the way circumstances have gone that we've had to push everything back. We don't want to seem like we're giving excuses here, because it's not that we didn't want to do it. We wanted to be out there, we wanted it ready for 12th of September, but the first one just wouldn't happen. And like I said before, not trying to be overly picky, but we're not going to release anything that we're not all happy with. So
once it's out there, there's no pulling it back, isn't it?
It's always going to be there. That'll be, even when you look back at it, even years later you might come back to it and go, well, actually I didn't really like that. And that was what was out there at the time. No one, it may impact us in the wrong way, but we haven't been around for as much in this incarnation, but we've been around, and even before myself and Hobo, we've been around a long time. People have heard the name, but in the next 2 years you'll get sick of the name, because there'll be that much stuff out there. So
there's nothing wrong with that, though, is there? Do you know what I mean?
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
And this is the thing, it does, from my personal opinion, not so much for the rest of the band, I can't speak for all of them, but it gets I feel disheartened by the fact I've had to push everything back, and it's my fault that, even though it's not, they've said I'm not to blame, but it is my fault with me health issues, that I've had to put the recording back. So I still feel like, well, we've waited so long to get this stuff out there, and what we've done, we've worked our arses off to try and get new stuff done, so we can release the 2 in a short space of time. And it did feel like a little bit of a knockback, but we hope people realise that we've done it for the right reasons. I don't want people to think we're trying to shortchange them. I want people to realise that we've done it because we don't want people to hear what we could be like, when we want people to hear what we should be like.
Well, that's it. You could have just put it all together, just rushed it all, got it out, and then it would have just been like,
We could have done that like 3-4 times over by now, just slapped it on a CD and put it out there. But we wouldn't be happy with this, and we want to do it perfect. We want to do it our way, and we want to get it right. So
the eyes
pushing
of
it
the
back.
Raven way.
Yeah, the eyes of the
Why
Raven way.
not? You know what I mean?
Actually, that's more like Bodge job it together, and yeah, it'll do on the night. But
Sort of things in a order, isn't it? Really?
yeah, but we don't want to put it out there, as we say, put it out there and it'd be rubbish. So we might as well put it back and wait until it's done, and then when it's done, you'll be like, this is amazing, rather than going, yeah, you know. So.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, considering our ups and downs, our lineup changes, the people who have followed us and come to our gigs and stuff, we really appreciate it. From 5 guys who, as far as I'm concerned, this is the strongest lineup we've ever had, and I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to get any better. I think this lineup, we can peak at this. And I think if we don't focus on the people who are in the band now and get right in as we are, I don't think it'll ever get any better. We are the people that we are, and I think all 5 members of this band are so suited for it, it's unbelievable.
It's great.
But the people who come to see us and come to show their support, I don't think they realise how much we do appreciate it, because coming from five guys who just enjoy a few beers and some groove and stone and metal, now to see people come, I've come to see Eyes of the Raven, it's like, I don't think they realise how much that actually means to us. It's really nice that people appreciate what we do.
So going off the back of that now, you guys are, I'd say, a mature band. Do you know what I mean? No,
A little bit more than mature, mate.
What I wanted to ask is,
Watch it.
people do watch this stuff. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of younger bands out there at the moment trying to push through and break through and build a fan base. As seasoned, mature bands, is there anything that you could? Any advice that you could give to anybody watching who really wants to try and give this a shot?
Stick at it. 3 words, stick at it. You can do shows where you play to 3 people, and then you can do shows where you play to 100, 200 people. They all matter. Every show matters, no matter how many people you play to and how well or how bad you play. The bad ones help you get better, and the good ones just show you how good you've become over time. So just keep at it. That's all I can. I've been in bands myself for 10 years. I was 16 when I started, so 12 years actually. 16 when I started in school, playing to just school friends, and I've just got progressively better throughout those years. And like I say, I've done the gigs where it's 3 people, I've done the gigs where it's hundreds of people, I've done festivals, and it's just sticking at it. The most successful I've been is in this band right now. So.
Brilliant.
On the flip side of that, I'd say this is my first band. I've only been doing this just over 2 years. I think the most enjoyable thing you can do is just write what you want to write. Don't worry about what other people think of it. Because if you're writing for other people, it's, when you're doing music, it's like an expression, isn't it, really, So you're always going to be happier doing what you want. No matter what you write, there's going to be someone out there who likes it, That's what I'd say.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If there's any, I'm not saying I'm the best font of knowledge for advice, but the only thing I would say to him is be yourself, do what you want to do.
Enjoy it.
Because if you write music that you don't enjoy, then you're not doing it for the right reasons. If you're in this, it's like we've always said, as Ross, even though he's not here, he will confirm this, he's always turned around and said, if you're in it for the music, you're not going to make any money. If you're in it for the money, he said, you'll end up in a tribute band. That's the way it goes. So now that's not knocking anybody, because each to their own. But if you're in it as an original artist and you want to do your own thing, then be true to yourself. Don't try and emulate another band.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. All right, say goodbye.
Thank you very
This is
much.
Eyes of the Raven.
Thank you. Thanks
Yes,
for joining us. Yeah,
an expletive-free interview.
You can all swear once now if you want. Go on.
Cockwomble.
Knuckles.
I was looking at the little one. Never.
Doesn't matter. They're all on you.
Now I'm back for more.